The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Monday Live. I am the big guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great weekend. Your week's off to a great start. I'm going to shut. Instagram is still not letting us stream live. Still don't know why. Never got an answer, of course. Also blocked on Twitter, or temporarily account suspended. Just happened today when not one tweet went against any of the rules. So, and ever. So we're going off of that. I don't think we're streaming on Periscope right now. I think I selected it still, but it won't be going through most likely. So just on Ryback TV and Twitch at Ryback Rules, as well as all podcast platforms. So please subscribe. iTunes, iHeartRadio, Android listeners, Spotify, or whatever podcast, Podbean. There's a million of them. So whatever podcast platform you are listening on. This show, guys, brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplement sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly. Available on feedmemore.com for men and women. You guys can save 20% off your orders with discount code Ryback Show 20. Ryback Show 20. We have a spin and win wheel. You can save up to 35% on. You can win a free half-gallon jug, free gym bag. Traveled with my Feed Me More Nutrition gym bag with all my supplements this weekend. We'll talk about that. Cool little duffel bag there. Great quality. Held up. My other bag, my Briggs & Riley, my expensive bag did not hold up. They ripped the handle off of it. They actually tried to damage the duffel bag as well, but it did. They failed miserably. The Feed Me More Nutrition Hungry duffel bag. We'll talk about that as well, guys. All merchandise you can get here on Ryback TV. If you see on the Ryback TV for Teespring, we have all the different Ryback Feed Me More Nutrition t-shirts. We have the new Hungry Feed Me More t-shirt. I'll be wearing it some of the appearances we're going to be doing. Speaking of appearances, I'm going to be in Amarillo, Texas this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, September 25th and 26th. Saturday from 10 to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 10 to 3 p.m. I'm going to be doing a meet and greet and pictures and autographs at the Amarillo Comic-Con. My first time in Amarillo, I believe ever. I don't believe I've ever been to Amarillo. So if you are in the area, please come on out and say hello. Going to be doing another appearance this weekend. I'll also be knocking out a new Feeding Time Ryback on the Road video. We have a new one dropping hopefully tomorrow. If it will upload here and I can get it over to my guy in time, we'll get it up tomorrow, if not Wednesday. But look for it tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific here on Ryback TV. I ate a badass vegan at a vegan pizzeria, Little Anthony's in Albany, New York. Right before I flew out. So I had just enough time. So I'm going to start scheduling time because I get rental cars with all my appearances so that I'll be able to hopefully find a spot, do a Ryback Feeding Time video on the road when time permits to kind of mix it up from the Vegas vegan spots. I think it will help the channel do a little bit better and raising awareness at different vegan spots around the country and just essentially double dipping for my appearances and knocking out a Feeding Time video on the channel as well and making the most of my time in other places with all of that. Also, personal videos from yours truly, cameo.com/thebigguy.Ryback for all personal videos for whatever occasion. All positive. I don't do negative stuff. I turn down things quite often if someone wants me to belittle somebody. I don't do any of that. Just happy birthdays, good occasions, congratulations, yada, yada, yada. Positive, more along the lines of what we do here and stuff, and not cutting promos in hurtful, negative ways, because some of the messages people send that they want sent to people are with very ill intent, and homie don't play that. So with that, what's going on, guys? Good to see all of you. I just did a 25-hour fast after doing a 15-hour fast. So I just got done eating. I'm sipping on my Feed Me More Nutrition cotton candy finish it branch chain amino acids. So we're also on TikTok back again. The TikTok channel's been a little odd, but hoping everything picks up now that the live videos are allowed to be recorded once again. They actually overturned the case because I don't know if it was reported for harassment and bullying, but I wasn't harassing and bullying anybody, and they agreed with it because I don't talk to anyone on TikTok per se. We're doing a show, and it's usually the questions are all Ryback TV with that, even though we will do questions on there, but there never is harassment or bullying in that sort of manner. Super chats are always encouraged here on Ryback TV and brought up to the screen. Starbucks coffee money for the big guy. True Rock Gaming, good to see you, buddy. Hi, Ryback. It was great meeting you in Albany Saturday. I found the vegan brisket recipe. We'll get working on that. Thanks for the talk, Mark Rock BBQ. Hey, buddy, I'm glad you messaged me. I can't find you on Twitter on the Fat Boys Barbecue. I'm on my phone on TikTok. I have it in my phone and I put it in there. There's a bunch of places with that name though. So I need you to, I guess, send it in here. If you just send it where I could see it, what the Twitter is. So I'm trying to find it on there for you. I did not forget about you. I promise. I legit have gotten it probably 3 or 4 times and tried. I cannot find it to save my life. But thank you. Do the beef brisket recipe. I'm telling you, it will. The vegan beef brisket will blow people's balls off. And it was very nice to meet you too. I was very happy to get to see the fans in New York this weekend. We did 3 signings. The first 2, one in Albany in the mall, and then in Kanajahari for Immortal Championship Wrestling. Great promotion, fun time, just doing pictures and autographs. I will say it was hot as hell inside the building for the show. We had to wear the mask the whole time in there, which we had to do in Albany. I had to do it all the appearances actually, except for maybe the last one we didn't. And that one was a little smaller, and that was just down the road from Kanajahari, but still a good time overall. Great trip, and felt good to get out. I got to go see family, my uncles, a couple of my uncles, a few of my uncles actually. One one of them, my Uncle Steven, met me at the mall, and for some reason I thought he was my Uncle Mark, which my grandma used to mistake them sometimes, but I can tell the difference between them. But for whatever reason, I didn't know my Uncle Steven was coming to meet me. I was told my mom had sent me who was coming and whatnot, and I didn't see him, or I don't for whatever reason, I just didn't think he was coming. And I thought it was my Uncle Mark, and I'm talking to him for like 15, 20 minutes at the whole time. And he keeps saying Mark, because he was referencing my other uncle. And I'm like, is he getting a little old and getting like Alzheimer's? And no, I just had the wrong uncle. And then I met my Uncle Mark and his family later on that night, my Uncle Shane, and in their wives. So it was a good time. Good time. Glad to have gotten back there. Glad to get home. I got home like at 1:30 a.m. I pulled into my parking lot in my driveway, and yeah, it was the Chicago airport is chaos, which I'm going to just randomly talk about this. I don't know if you guys have seen this, and I'm going to actually have to call my bank and see what the hell's going on in the Chicago airport. I was looking for a black coffee, because I was trying to stay up until I got home so I can go right to bed, which I ended up doing. I still slept a little bit on the way home because I could not find my coffee. But I went and got what was it? I went to this store, the Hudson News. It had Hudson News, and if you travel, you've seen that in all the airports, Hudson News. But on this one, you had to use a credit card or debit card to enter the store. And they had like 3 gates to get in and 3 gates to get out. And then they had workers there, and it was like an experiment. It was because people were like dumbfounded, and people would put their card in to go into the store, and the girls that worked there kept repeating, "Just leave. You do not check out unless you want a receipt. You have to enter your email." And there was a system to put your email in if you wanted a receipt. But essentially, you put your credit card in. So this is the way of the future. You put your credit card in, you go into the store, you buy whatever you want, you just grab it, and then you just leave. How they're able to exactly scan what you have, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't give it a lot of thought. I just went in there. I got the 2 drinks. I got a vitamin water zero and a cold brew. Little deal, right? And I go, I didn't even see the prices on them. And I go, well, I'll look and see how much it was after I leave later on when I get home. So I go in there, I get my 2 drinks, and I just walk out. And I go, oh, that's really easy and really convenient. This is pretty cool. I see on my phone, I get an alert that I'd been charged like $1 charge, and then the $1 charge dropped off, and it said by Amazon. And I go, Amazon. So Amazon, I go, of course, Amazon owns that store now. I don't know if they just haven't changed the sign or what the deal is, but Amazon owns the technology for putting a card in to go into a store and then just walk out without having to scan any items. And they supposedly know what to charge you. Well, you would think they do. I was charged like $30-something in change for my 2 drinks that are under $10 total. Even airport prices, they're not over $10, right? Even let's just say 15. Really, $7.50 each, which they're not, but they're probably closer to the $4 or $5 mark with that. And I was charged. I go, oh, I wonder, they clearly messed up. So now I got to call and because I want to know, unless the prices are just ridiculous for the technology, which that's not worth it. And there's no way that could be the case. But they didn't have prices on any of the bottles, so that was in the Chicago airport. So I imagine they're testing out the technology before they roll it out maybe to other places. But I go, they're going to start doing that everywhere where you just card in and walk by. I go, there's just no way. I go, how are they able to scan and know exactly what you got precisely? And they obviously didn't with me. And I just had two things and walked out. So I'm like, did they charge somebody else's stuff to mine somehow? And I'm like, so I got to call now and try to get some information on this. So at least I know. And at the end of the day, if I was charged $30-something, I will never go into one of those things ever again. The store, hold on. The store might have Amazon payments. It's Amazon's payment processor, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. The way it rang up on the thing, but it's possible they do. It's very possible. I'm just curious how they're able to scan the items exactly. Charles, I don't think the vegetarian diet, I think that is worthless. I think if you're going to do it, you go vegan all the way. And that's coming from somebody that didn't go all the way, and it was worthless. If you're going to do it, you got to go all the way. Otherwise, you're playing slap ass. You're playing slap ass all day long if you don't. Trying to see what we got. Have you? But yeah, I did a 15-hour fast yesterday, and then I realized I had a little bit of time that I didn't expect I was going to have coming back from Utica to Albany, and I gassed up the car, the rental, to return to full gas tank because I had the time, and because God knows what airport prices are right now with the prices they are with gas around the country. But I go, all the vegan restaurants I looked were closed except for one called Little Anthony's, and they're 98% vegan. The woman, I followed them on my Instagram. The woman was so nice at the front, and I ended up doing my cheat meal for this next week was a vegan meatball sausage and pepperoni calzone, which was enormous. They're vegan chicken wings, which are like chicken bites, the bone. They're like boneless wings. Which were absolutely amazing. And then they had a vegan birthday cake cookie. And she goes, you got to try the cookies. I was like, no, I don't want a cookie. She goes, they're so good though. And I go, no, I'm good. And she's just looking at me and she's like, and I was like, all right, I'll take a cookie. And then I only was going to take a bite. The cookie was so good. And I go, it is my cheat meal for the week. And I go, you know what I'm going to do? Since I broke my fast at 15 hours, and I ate this meal, which was a little more calories than I would normally eat in one meal. I go, I'm just going to do another fast into the next day. And I ended up doing a 25-hour fast. So I ended up doing a huge fast overall with a break in between with that. So I feel great now that I've ate. I got my shoulder worked on earlier. We broke up so much scar tissue in my rear delt. We're finally breaking down this tissue in this area we need. And because God knows I am burning the candle at both ends, doing everything I'm doing, and now doing appearances again. And it's fucking stress. I'm not even gonna lie. It's stress. I got people, I can't even post goddamn memes without getting literally hundreds of messages of people responding to the goddamn memes. And I'm not doing, it's great. It's great. But I just got to mass delete shit. I don't even respond to the majority of people anymore. I can't. I just can't. And I'm like, I will never get anything done. I'm not a meme lord. This is just all part of me having fun. But I'm like, I love everybody. But goddamn, don't everybody react to the fucking memes. Please don't respond to the memes. I love you all. I know they're funny. I laugh. That's why I posted them. But please, big guys going hard, trying to get better. And, I've got people ask me for things all the time. Like, no, just no, leave me alone. This is why I stay to myself, because I don't have the time and energy to give to otherwise I would never achieve anything in my life, especially with all this. Thank you, True Rock. You didn't have to send a super chat. I would have, if you would have just posted it again. Thank you, buddy. Wait, my Twitter is @Mark. Hold on. We're going to write this down again. Cause I thought I blocked the barbecue one and I put the barbecue Mark _rock. I can't tweet for 12 hours or until tomorrow. My account has been, I got you down on here, Mark. I will find you. I told you I would. I promise I will. I honestly don't know what happened on Twitter today. I got out of getting my shoulder worked on, and I was going to post a thing on all the social media real quick before I took off to go get my coffee and head home and eat. And it goes, your account has been suspended for violating Twitter's rules. And I clicked on the rules and I go, did I look at everything? I go, what did I tweet? Did I tweet something that was maybe borderline? And I look, and it's all positive stuff or funny, and nothing remotely that would fall under their rules of that. I go, this is crazy. So I don't know. I've reached out to several Twitter employees just saying, and you guys could see all those. It's not like, hey, can you shoot me a DM? I'd like to talk to you guys. Thank you. And I go, is that not allowed? I'm not allowed to ask Twitter employees anymore publicly to help me fix my account. That has cost me, I honestly believe it's cost me millions of dollars with how I get organic traffic and my reach and what I don't do on some of my other stuff. So over the course of it's actually been my Twitter account, actually from the data, because we got the data report. Remember when I was doing the eat, tweet, delete stuff with WWE? I was doing that all on my own and deleting tweets right away because it was pissing the fans off, and I was a heel. So I was just doing anything I could to get a reaction, piss people off. And that was so much in character. And I remember just thinking, but I remember the engagement crashed during that period, or not the engagement, the impressions. And that's when I think, because I was speaking my mind, because I was already sick of a lot of the shit that was going on. That's when I started using Twitter to speak my mind, though, in general, and and I go, that's when WWE had my account. Boom. We have in 2014. Crazy. And we have the data report showing thousands of likes and all that, and the engagement through the roof, and then impressions going down into the three figures, at under 100, while it just doesn't add up. You just don't, because I've talked about everything we've seen. This is why I got to keep fighting, though, on everything, because if I don't, nobody's going to fight for me. I learned that a long time ago. So I have to be very proactive, stay positive, but I got to also acknowledge that what these problems are and try to find solutions, because otherwise it's everything I do doesn't have the effect that it could. And that impacts everything I do in my life. So if you ever get sick of hearing me talk about it, imagine you have a business and a brand, and everything you're doing and your time and energy is spent morning to night to make that successful, taking on a multi-billion-dollar company that you've spent over 6 figures winning everything from, right? and you would be upset too, I promise. Let's see. What else do we got going on? Umer with the question of the day. Yo, big guy, if you fought a crocodile, as if a crocodile-sized big guy Ryback fought a lion-sized Vincent Kennedy McMahon, it doesn't matter what size Vince is. The big guy tears him apart all day long. It doesn't even matter. The only way that doesn't happen is if you make me an insect. You got to give me something bigger than an insect. What's going on? Yes, have I done cupping therapy? I have. You know, though, I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan. I'm not against it, actually, with my scar tissue now. I think with certain, but I'll tell you what I don't like about it is it leaves your skin jacked up for weeks. You look like you got giant hickeys all over your body, little alien suction cups all over you. And it's just like, I remember I had one, it lasted like a month. And I go, what the hell? But yeah, if I'm an insect-sized Ryback, I'm in trouble. If Vince is the size of a lion, you just step on me. And what am I going to do? I'm just going to just die. You got to give me a fighting chance, is what I'm saying. You can make me a rabbit. A rabbit-sized Ryback will destroy a lion-sized Vince McMahon all day long. Go right for his quads. No, right at his quads. Off the bone, now we're same size. Feeding time, bitch. I started working out around 11, 12 years old. Always, even younger, doing some other things. I had all the ab gadgets. I had the Tony Little perfect sit-up. I had the ab flexor. It was a device this huge device. I used to put it under my bed, and it had these bands on it, and different resistance level bands. And it had this little pad, and it pushed into your body. And the cell on the ab flexor or the ab flex, it was one of those names, was that you get an upper body workout along with an ab workout. And you would sit you don't even have to get on the floor. You could sit on the edge of a bed and do your abs and have a six-pack in 3 weeks, whatever the hell the marketing was. And at me, young little Ryback, I was like, oh my God, I want abs. And I bought that. I bought all the ab gimmicks. I didn't realize it was because I ate boxes of cereal and I was jacked as a kid. I had peaks in my bicep and a hole in my forearm, but I never had full abs because I ate so much damn food. But I was always in shape, but I wasn't like I wanted ripped abs as a kid. And it was the diet. I didn't have anybody to say, big guy, don't eat the whole box of Lucky Charms every morning. Don't eat a whole bag of Doritos. But Feed Me More has literally been my life, my whole life. You know what? I'm not going to argue that Ryback equals John Candy, number 2 with muscles. John Candy, I have a framed poster of John Candy upstairs. Chris Farley as well. I'm big fans of those guys. Kramer. Who else do I have? Another comedian somewhere up there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of comedy, though. Jose says, where do you buy an air popper at for popcorn? I've never owned one, and I'd like to give it a try to make air popcorn. Amazon. Just type in air machine, popcorn air machine, air popper, anything. Air pop a lot, pop. It'll pop up. I promise. Amazon people put the perfect words in there to make sure that no matter what you spell, as long as it's close, you're going to get those air popcorn machines. Good air popper. Also invest in a good get an organic plant butter. And you can usually they have a little thing on the top that heats up the butter for you while you're popping the popcorn. Or if not, you just put it in a couple tablespoons in a little thing and microwave the vegan butter. You put a little bit of iodized sea salt on there and some potassium salt with the plant butter. You toss it all around in the popcorn bowl. You got to really shake it. Do a half turn, shake it. Do a half turn, shake it. You're ready to go. Rivals any movie theater popcorn. If you really want to turn it up, you throw just a pinch of coconut oil in the vegan butter. You get the movie theater popcorn to a T. All plant-based though. You're welcome. I do 3 servings of popcorn for 60 grams of carbs and 12 grams of protein for my last meal with my pistachios and a little bit of Brazil nuts. usually. And then I do my tomatoes, my carrots, my celery, my beets, some pickle spheres, maybe a few olives on there. And that's my final meal of the day. But weigh out that 3 servings of popcorn is 99 grams. So that makes a lot of popcorn. That makes a big bowl of popcorn. And most people, that's me. You could probably, do 2, maybe 1.5 servings, and you're going to be happy. The big guy does 3 though. Bishop asked my opinion on HBK, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in real life. People's opinions, I guess you said it kind of moved up on me, differ on him. So Shawn's always been really good with me. Shawn gave me great advice when I was Skip Sheffield in Nexus, in NXT before Nexus, on start wrestling like a power wrestler if I want to be a draw and make money. That everything I did was great, but I was doing some gimmicky Skip Sheffield stuff. And Vince had already had the talk with me about transitioning away from Skip Sheffield. And Shawn came over and talked to me. And that really, really resonated with how he explained it to me. He literally just goes, he goes, do you just want to be like another guy on the roster? Or do you want to be like the only guy that can do what you can do? And it made it I looked at it, I go, I get it. I get they didn't have a guy. Batista was gone. Lashley was gone. They didn't have a killer powerhouse on the roster. And that was the first time I looked at it a little different. I go, oh, wow, I completely get this. And that was where I made the shift and started getting really, really aggressive. And then obviously got injured, but I just kept that when I came back as Ryback. And I'd wrestled like that before, but I understood what I needed to do to go get over. And like where you don't, he helped me with that. He was very complimentary to me throughout my career whenever I would see him, even though he wasn't up there a lot. But when he was, he was very complimentary, which I take that as that to me means a lot because he didn't have to be. And like I said, he gave me the advice when I wasn't doing what I needed to do. So I knew he wasn't going to bullshit me on that. And I think too, he wasn't an active wrestler on the roster. I'm not competing with him in any way. He could just tell you what you think. X-Pac was the same. X-Pac was always very complimentary and very kind to me. And he would even point out when things, he goes, why, like when things were not good and when they were red hot and booking was very odd. And he would just come over and kind of just like, this doesn't make any sense. And he wasn't like stirring shit up or anything. He was but he was like on the situation. Because, you get over at the level that we did with everything. It takes quite a bit to mess that up, which you guys obviously saw. It took quite a while, but, it is what it is. But Shawn was always great to me. I have nothing, obviously I think it depends who you talk to. It was, if you talk to Bret Hart during Bret, like that was an entirely different period, a different situation, different time, different circumstances. So, and, I think Bret's an honest guy. I don't think Bret lies. I think Bret's very passionate and speaks very honestly, which sometimes people can, people ask a question and you give an honest answer to a question. And then people are like, oh my God, he's so bitter. It's like, no, he's honest in answering the question honestly. If he didn't answer it honestly, he'd be a fake fraud full of shit. So what is it? Do you want honest or do you want somebody being fake? And that's where sometimes where people that are real, that lower intelligence level fan, if you want to call him a mark, will react negatively to it. What's going on, everybody? Good to see all of you. What other questions? No, I don't think it's going to be an entirely different industry when Randy Orton retires. I think the industry is already a lot different already with Randy in it. I think Randy has done a fantastic job at staying Randy and thriving while the business has changed, and not for the better. And he knows that as well. But he knows how to protect himself, and he's ended up he's really, really, he had those injuries early on. He's put together a hell of a stretch of as successful as a run as anyone overall. As far as, and obviously Randy's money is as a heel, even though I think right now is the baby face with him and RK with Matt Riddle as RK Bro. I think that's great stuff. Trying to see what else. Everyone on TikTok, I appreciate all your love and support. Trying to see what the... Did I miss a super chat? I think I did. Yep, there it is. Sonny Lamont, good to see you, buddy. Yo, big guy. Great to see you. Any food item or fruit item to help raise our vibration you could recommend? Do you meditate? So again, bananas, I think I mentioned that. I don't know if it was to you or someone else. Bananas are very good, helping increase our mood, improve our mood, helps with depression. There's a lot of fruits that are like that, though, different ones. I tell you, I have my fruit bowl, and I do a mix, with figs and cherries and grapes, banana, orange, watermelon, blueberries, and just a little bit of each. I tell you, man, it's so good. I feel so good after eating that. I had a fruit bowl today when I broke my fast before my performance meal was done. It was so good. But I'm trying to think other fruits off the top of my head. I tell you, the one of my figs are one of my favorite fruits. I love the dried brown Turkish figs. Then I got my fig tree in the back. I'd have to look and see exactly. I just know like that one personally with me, I like just biting into a fig makes you feel good. Like it's really like I love the taste of them. So I'm going to go with figs and bananas from a personal standpoint. And then non-fruit cilantro. Cooking with cilantro, cutting it up, organic fresh cilantro in your meals will also play a good part in that. Do I meditate? So again, I do affirmations at various, like every day when I shower is when I do a lot of my affirmations. It's kind of just a routine I've had for a long time. Also, like when I go in my hot tub for 20, 30 minutes or the pool, I don't have my phone or anything. And that's my like mellow time. And I'm just in my thoughts and very calm. So even though I'm not like per se in there, whatever you have, but people, that is a form of meditation, how I use it. When I take my dogs for a walk, I would say that's a form of meditation. I don't look at my phone the entire time. I'm out there and I'm just in the thought, enjoying the nature and very calm for the most part, and just enjoying, the walk and being in the moment. So I think I've put in things in my daily routine that give me nice breaks of mental calmness, and then obviously I don't look at my phone when I'm ready to go to bed. I don't look at my phone. And then I get up, I put my phone in my pocket or grab it, put it on the nightstand. And then I go downstairs, I put it in my pocket and then get everything ready with the dogs and my food. And then when I sit down, I start going so that I have a little bit of a break in the morning. Cause I've done it. And don't get me wrong. I've done it plenty of times where I haven't done that, where I know enough to do it now as much as possible. Because if I wake up and look right at my phone and I got a ton of stuff going, like it's crazy the amount of messages you'll have waking up early, because West Coast, you got people on the East Coast that are 3 hours ahead. So like, even if you get up at 5 something or 6 something, there's still a shit ton of messages that come in emails. And I get people constantly hitting me up for things for the Feed Me More Nutrition, it's just, they want money. Everyone wants your attention, your energy, or your money, the more that you do in your life. And you got to get really good at just like, shutting it down. And I'll tell you, there was a guy at my gym that he kept coming over when I'd go to the one of the LVACs here, and he just talk. And he would watch me work out in sets, something that I don't like. It rubbed me wrong quite a bit. And then he'd said, like, he just kept talking and he'd interrupt, and I'm in there to work out. I'm not in there. And especially because he works there. And I've learned to just tell people, and I don't care what they think about me when I know, because I know I'm not doing it from an ill intent. I'm doing it to protect myself. And I go, look, man, we could just say hello. I'm cool. Just hello. I have no interest in like having conversations in here. And I had to just tell him point blank, you know what though? He's been completely awesome with it. Every time he sees me, he says, yo, Ryback, fist bump. We're cool. You know, I'm in there to train. I'm not in there to have a 15-minute conversation while I'm in there training and trying to get stuff done, right? And that's where I've learned to just tell people on that kind of stuff. And it's not being an asshole. It's not being mean. It's literally, if you don't, you're going to end up hating yourself if you don't. Because there's only one of us and there's billions of people, right? You got to always think about that. Always think about that. There's only one of us and there's like over 8 billion other people on the planet. So, but I do meditate, yes. Well, Sri Lanka, you're now shell-shocked out of Rybackville. Thank you for playing. Don't spam the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The big guy will throw out shell shocks left and right. Justin, Man of Steel, good to see you. Good evening, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Had a great weekend. We've got the water bottles, guys, coming too. The Feed Me More Nutrition Hungry double-barreled metal water bottles with the bamboo top, the aluminum water bottles. These are they're shipping out here. They just finished production of them. This is my BioAccelerator one. This is why I got it. Because when I went to Colombia, BioAccelerator hit me up, and when I went out there, I mean, they gave me this on the first day, and I used it like all the time when I was walking around and eating. And I got to get these for the Feed Me More Nutrition customers, and I was finally able to find the supplier for that. So I'm pumped to get you guys those water bottles. Hold on. Hey, big guy, who wins in a fight? The Shield as bees or Evolution as wasp? If it's Evolution while Hunter's on the roster and not like as working as Office, Evolution all day long. Shield would never have been the Shield. No, Man of Steel, no problems at all, man. It was great, and no worries. There's going to be more. There's going to be more. The Feed Me More tour is just getting started. And we're going to be in Amarillo, Texas for all of you just joining this Saturday and Sunday. 10 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 3 on Sunday, doing pictures and autographs. And I got to get a feeding time video. So if anyone knows a good vegan spot in Amarillo that I could do a feeding time meal at, let me know. Walter, what's going on? Black beans, yeah, not vegan, but it was great. Haven't tried them. Yeah, I got a thing of black beans, red beans, and pinto beans soaking right now to cook tomorrow morning. Just Man of Steel, any possibility of a New York Comic Con, like New York City, I'd imagine you mean. Probably, yeah. The guy that I'm working with is great, and he's gotten stuff. They're actually working on a UK one, I think for April, which I don't know at that point. And I let him know. I go, yeah, well, let's take it. And then obviously, if anything changes, there's based off what I've talked about, that's a lot of time where I'm hoping my shoulder is 100% well before that. So, but I go, maybe I can keep it regardless. But I go, yeah, let's try to get out there for a 2-day convention as well. But it's I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of these. And I know I'm in Harrington, Texas, November 6th and 7th, and I'm waiting to see if we got some October. I'm hoping we get a couple October dates still too. I got to post the guy's contact for the agency we're working with for appearances so that people can contact him. Because before I had it with my other email, and I'm not doing them. We're going through this place now because it makes my life way easier. Any Ryback has heat vegan challenges in the future? No, I don't know. I don't think nothing. I'm not the hot stuff. I've really kind of over with because of I can see what the companies are doing. It's not healthy at the end of the day. I think if you can, like, and I'm talking from my own personal experience, I feel my stomach get inflamed because the heat bloats you where that stuff's on your insides, and they're making stuff hotter and hotter and hotter, and they're making new stuff, and they're trying to like, they're using extracts. And I know you guys don't, a lot of you probably don't understand this. It's not just peppers. The peppers are fine. Eating the peppers is one thing because it's a natural thing. They're using extracts, making things so hot that are not supposed to be consumed by humans. And I just said, when I finally realized, I go, okay, and I could tell by how bad I felt afterwards, and just like it would zap my energy levels because my whole body would just be fighting to get rid of that inflammation and the heat. I go, this isn't. I've done the hottest things in the world, and I have the respect of that chili head community, which I didn't care if I got or not. It was just a fun way to do videos and show how mentally tough I was. I did it, and I'm done. And I have no interest of doing it anymore after that because it like I said, where do you got to stop at some point. If not, I'm not going on to try to be a world record head, eat 1,000 chilies in one sitting. So, and I can tell you, nobody that does that makes any money anyways. It's kind of silly to sacrifice your health and not even make anything in the process with it. My opinion. Somebody might come, oh, I just have a passion for chilies. It's, I just have a passion for eating the hottest things in the world and the extracts. It's my love. It's my reason for waking up every day. I'm going to go, okay, I clearly don't understand you, but that's you and cool. I legit have never wrestled anybody and thought of anybody as a stiff wrestler. Now, I swear to God, not once have I ever wrestled anybody like, oh man, they're so stiff. I don't even know what, like, nobody. Yeah, Moringa, Justin, is the real deal. Big fan of Moringa now. The trees supposedly don't do well in Vegas. I wish they did. But if you do plant them, you got to plant them early in the spring, not right now going into the fall here, because it won't even have a chance. So I would have to have a pretty good developed Moringa tree. And I'm going to try next spring and see if I can make it happen. Yeah, Chubby, there's a lot of great people out there as well, but there are a lot of bad people, that bloodsuckers and people. And that's where when you become really self-aware, you could recognize that instantly. And it's not, all you learn to do is you just learn not to associate with that kind of person. And I can recognize it very, very quickly when I get around somebody, if I meet somebody and they're very negative, and I'm just like, yep, that's not the mindset that I want around me. Or when people ask you for a lot of stuff and like you could tell they're just using you for their own benefit with no consideration, and especially if they have no leverage, right? They just want stuff from you. Just like, I get that all the time. People, hey, promote this, promote that for me. Hey, I just block. I don't even give them the time. Just block them. I go, not even just the nerve to even send that. Like, yeah, the Amazon has organic Moringa. I think I got a bottle for like $22 or something like that on there. Yeah, Moringa is the most nutrient dense plant. Absolutely. And it was something I was not aware of before. Logan says, what are your thoughts on Brock Anderson on AEW? He is still pretty green, but guy has huge potential, and it helps that he looks like his dad, Arn. Yeah, I have it. I've seen a couple of the matches, his debut, and I think the other one did he wrestle Malachi Black, if I'm not mistaken? And which that wasn't a long match, but he's very early on. But yeah, definitely you could see the resemblance to Arn. I love Arn. Arn has always been great with me. Arn has always had nothing but great things to say about me, and he's helped me throughout my career. And he's always given me honest advice over things going on. And he's a great producer. He's if not, I'd say he's probably my favorite producer because he was always he'll let you go out there and do your stuff. He gives you the information he needs to give you for the match, right? And he does so in a very he does so in just a very good way. He's very good at it, in my opinion, and probably a lot of people's opinions. But I always really enjoyed working with Arn on that, and he's going to be able to give Brock valuable advice. Obviously, being around him his whole life, and now working together there. But you're very early on. A lot of these guys are getting to TV early. I wouldn't want to. I'll tell you straight up. I would not want to have been on TV. I don't care what your skill level is. Even I would not want to be on TV until I fully knew who I was as a human being. By the time I debuted, and I'll tell you this, I didn't know who I was when I was Skip Sheffield as a human yet. I was starting to understand myself, but I hadn't fully. I was playing a character that wasn't me, and it wasn't until the ankle injury that I found out who the hell I really was. And that's what made me being able to translate as Ryback, and it worked. A lot of guys still, even older, don't know who they are as a human being. And if you don't know who you are as a man or a woman as a human being, it is very difficult to know to go on screen and be a turned up version of yourself. Otherwise, you got to play a part, and that never is the same as being yourself turned up, in my opinion, with that. But Brock's very early on. And he's gonna, he's up there, and I'm not sure of his exact age, but I would imagine he has the father and the tools to have a successful career, and we don't know what's going to happen until his career's over or until 10 years go by, right? You just don't know. Bo Dallas was signed. Bo Dallas on WWE TV was signed like 17 years old by WWE. He was the NXT champion. He was the workhorse down there, and they did not have him play that same kind of role on WWE TV. And then now he's gone. It's crazy to me. And he never but he played every role to perfection. But you don't know what the company's going to do with you or use you, how they're going to use you. And when you get up there early, you're learning. Like Brian Pillman's up there and finding himself, and a lot of those guys, Griff Garrison, they're very young with that, and it takes time. So you're growing on TV in front of people. But what happens is you don't want to have to grow for too long. You want to figure out who you are as a human being as quickly as possible when you're on TV, because it will help you be more successful, in my opinion. But I think I like everything I've seen so far. I just think it's far too early to know what's he going to do? I don't know. That's going to depend on the angles, the amount of TV time, and just in his development on screen. But he's in a hell of a position to have a successful career if he continues to keep a positive mental attitude and works hard, which I have no doubt have with Arn as his father that he has that in him already. So. Thank you very much, True Rock Game, that's a very nice compliment. I'd rather watch Ryback and learn stuff than watch WWE nowadays. It's great having someone like Ryback willing to give out advice and insight on nutrition and life. Thank you very much. And that's why. So this is why I was just thinking about this earlier, driving, and this is all tied into my brand and with the hungry mindset. And I'm very happy that looking back with everything that's happened, I get to prove to you guys my mindset. I walked away from millions of dollars after already making it. Again, I needed to save my health. It was a blessing I did. And I go, it wasn't like I got fired, but even if I was, I go, I get to prove my mindset all over again that what I did on screen is really me and overcome it. But a lot of people we see in wrestling, they don't talk to people. A lot of them are afraid to let the mystery go. They can't. You see, I just say, screw it. I go, when the camera's on and the fight is on, it's time to go. And outside of that, I'm not going to let pro wrestling fucking put me in a corner in where people stereotype me like it's done to so many wrestlers, because the reason why it's done that to so many wrestlers is because they didn't push to break it. They just let people, that's them, that's their wrestling character, and that's that. But I go, it's going to take years. I have to talk to people, share all these books and this information that I read and learn and apply day in and day out that has helped me be successful, and simply just share with them. Some people will agree with it. Some people might not agree with it. But I promise you, the people that are going to use it are going to end up using it, and they're going to benefit from it. And everybody wins. But it also helps people see that the BS and the lies and everything else that they go, wait a second, I follow this guy every day. That's not true. Because otherwise, if I didn't and I didn't do anything, people will just believe all of it, right? But it all ties into everything that I'm doing. And at the end of the day, too, on top of helping people and sharing what I'm doing while helping myself in my business, right, and making money, I'm also helping break stereotypes of pro wrestling where people go, it is physical acting. These guys are playing roles with that. It's not, He's not a loser because he went out there and fell on his face at WrestleMania with Mark Henry. He was told to go out there and do that. He didn't, he's not a loser because he didn't win the WWE Championship from CM Punk and John Cena. He went out there and played a role to perfection in any other role that he was asked to play, right? And that's what I want people to understand. And I'll continue. I'm not wrong. And people need to understand that is what it is. And it's the healthiest way for pro wrestlers. A guy coming up in the business the other day, Immortal Championship Wrestling, asked me for some advice. And I told him the best thing that's helped me be successful and make as much money as I did and not quit and walk out because I didn't like the way something was on it. I go, was approaching this as physical acting. And I go, whatever. I go, I'm not the one with the pen and the creative. And I go, yeah, we could have people disagreeing with it. I go, but whatever the role is, you embrace that role and play it to the best of your ability. And it's not getting caught up in the, am I a winner or a loser? Only marks do that. In physical acting, the guy that plays the bad guy that gets killed at the end of the movie is not a loser. So how are pro wrestlers losers for losing in physical acting? They're not. But people have been conditioned to think that by the way Vince's booking was and how they treat guys that lose more than they win, right? It's not the way that it is. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. John Cena is no different than any of the other talent playing roles up there. He's just playing a good guy role that a lot of people believe to be his real character. But the people that know, he's a really good actor. You don't want to believe it, but it's the truth. And I say that 100% factually because I know, because I've seen it. But yeah, I agree. People do need to stop listening to the dirt sheets, the Cornettes, the Meltzers, and the other guy, the Alcatraz, whatever his name is, guy. All those guys, they're very negative-minded. Terrence and Phillip, they're one chromosome away from being mentally ill, right? Mentally handicapped. This is real. Look at their faces. They're a chromosome away from being mentally handicapped. They're very ill, malicious, hateful people that spread lies for profit. And that is what's kind of taking, there's a lot of people out there, though, look around the world, everything going on. There's a strong portion of the population that is very gullible and very similar to them. And that is who they play to, unfortunately. The key is the people that are strong-minded, that have common sense and logic, think with logic and intelligence, not to get caught up in that game and just block it and don't watch it. And that's all we can do. Hold on, we're going to block Shell Shock, another person out of here. Yeah, Dominic says, yeah, I saw you were married and like 230 pounds. I knew that was a lie just listening to you. Yeah, never been married. That was out there. That was a lie that was put up at some point. There's been so many lies put out there on me that are just ridiculous. And I just go, how does that even get put out and spread? Where a simple fact checking, no, never married. But I go, it's just, that's the negative, ill part of the wrestling business that I just don't care for. Well, that's why I just keep working. I learned how to make my own income, and I'll go back and use the wrestling business for my benefit and enjoy the parts of it that I like and be in control. and I won't do wrestling interviews with that toxic, the whole, a lot of those places that do interviews, I won't do interviews with them when I'm back. I'm going to do my deal, and I'm going to promote positivity. I'm not going to feed their bullshit with them because of what they've done and what I've had to overcome with all of it. None of them have reported any of this factually from the beginning, and I just have no time for them. Chubby think, let's see. Yeah, Umer, they put extracts in all of them. The heat is off the charts. Like, we're not meant that, and this is me talking to chili heads, and like a lot of them got it prepared, like you got to eat certain things and coat your stomach, which I didn't do for that tube of tear deal in my hot tub. I'm lucky I didn't have to go to the hospital for that. I thought there was a point that I had to. I did so many hot things after that. That was still by far the hottest thing I've ever done. And I'm lucky I didn't have to go to the hospital with it. It was stupid. Absolutely stupid. Jake Truman, thank you very much, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. Always appreciate you popping into the Ryback Show. We'll go ahead and get rid of another shell. We got another shell shot coming here. Guys, I'm going to have to, Crimson, you're getting shell shocked out too. Saying to stop the spam isn't contributing to the spam when you keep saying it over and over again. Guys, use your brain. Don't be stupid. Thank you. I enjoy playing both babyface and heel. I prefer to be babyface with everything that I got going on. I think it is not good to have a business and a brand centered around positivity and self-improvement, and then go play a heel where I believe I'm very, very, very good at playing a heel. So good that a lot of people still hate me for the bullying stuff. I'm not. I have no interest in confusing the people that get confused, right? You get where I'm going with this? Too many people can't look at it as physical acting, unfortunately. Yeah, the Raiders are 2-0. I'm waiting. I'm very upset with that organization with the making people get the vaccine if they want to go to watch the games. I don't agree with that one bit. TikTok, do we got any questions on TikTok? Appreciate all the love and support over there, guys. We are growing rapidly. I do believe you guys are going to see me back on TV sooner rather than later. I don't watch Dark Side of the Ring. I don't watch a lot of TV in general. I'm so focused on my goals and what I'm doing. And I learned the art of pro wrestling and the style that I need to draw and make money, and be the best, and always looking to improve. I don't think I have to watch those shows to get better personally. My life is on track. I'm doing everything I need. I don't get caught up too much in that stuff. So I just I don't know, there was one of was it the A&E thing that came on one night with a couple of the Warrior or Bret Hart. There were a couple I saw for a little period of them. And but like, I'm not really, I don't get caught up in any of that stuff. It's great, cool. People seem to like them, I guess. I'm honestly pretty damn clueless on all of it. I don't know, Justin. So Twitter just suspended my account for today, saying I'm not allowed to tweet for like 12 hours, that I violated their policy. They don't tell you what you violated, that I saw. Maybe I'll have to check the other email and see if they sent anything on an email. But I went and looked at all my tweets from the last few days, and nothing is, I don't know. I posted them on my Instagram story so people could see. I was like, I don't know. Other than I sent a couple messages to people, for Twitter employees, messages publicly. You could see those tweets like, hey, Jeffrey, could you please DM me so I could ask you a question about my account? Thank you. Something along the lines of that. So unless like that's not allowed, like you're not allowed to message the employees asking, to help your account get more than 0.5% impressions, then like I don't know. So my Instagram, I'm still banned on Instagram, but I can't do lives. And I didn't do anything to violate anything on Instagram. So it's, it is what it is. You just got to keep plugging along on what I can do. Twitter's not a big deal. It's not like 10 people aren't going to see my stuff with what's going on. Cool. I'll wait for those 10 people to see me again tomorrow, whatever it is. Yeah, I use Jeffrey as the name. Pete, let's see. We got another super chat. Coffee money coming in. Any advice for anxiety or panic heart attacks? I hope you just mean panic attacks, not panic heart attacks. Because I think any of us would panic if we had if you're having frequent heart attacks, I'm going to say you need to check yourself in to the emergency room ASAP, or schedule an appointment ASAP with a cardiologist and get a lot of heart tests done. But I think you mean just frequent panic attacks. The Hope Spot Mood and Stress Support by Feed Me More Nutrition is fantastic. It truly, truly is just a great product that does what it says. Other than that, I'm going to tell you, you got to fix your food, you fix your mood, you start consuming more fruits and vegetables, less death, less meat, less red meat, less chicken, less fish, things that have been tortured, slaughtered, terrorized before they're killed and processed and whatnot. And things, stop eating that stuff and eating bananas, cilantro. Those two things alone will help improve your mood, and just more fruits and vegetables in general. You need to start making, and then I would say do that first, and then add in the Hope Spot Mood and Stress Support by Feed Me More Nutrition. Fix our food, we fix our mood. I'm telling you, and if you can just understand this, I swear to God, I'm giving you straight facts that if you just listen to me, just listen and just do it, and don't try to sugarcoat things, and don't half-ass things. Just do what I tell you when it comes to this stuff and go down that path. I promise you will thank me sooner than later. Fix our food, we fix our mood. We have to educate ourselves on the nutrition and what we put in our bodies. Life is energy. Food is energy. The food that we put in our body, we have to get away from processed foods and there's a lot in animal and dairy as much as possible. Yeah, are we still going to have it sometimes? Yeah. The bulk of our diet, though, needs to be plant-based and needs to be vegan. And I firmly believe, and at the very least, you need to up your fruits and vegetables. Fruits first thing in the morning or after a workout, vegetables throughout the day. But I want you guys to understand that the people I listen to and read, and life's about balance and happiness. We're all going to have different things that make us happy. But the hungry mindset is this is what I've always lived by. I am my happiest when I stay hungry and motivated at whatever it is. And the things that make me happiest, I love the mental side of things in business, but I love physicality because I've been physical my whole life. I like being athletic. I love adrenaline and being things. So that's why I've worked so hard to get my health back so that I can enjoy that for as long. I want to be active for the rest of my life. And I was faced with multiple times in my life through wrestling where that was taken away with that. But when we're hungry and motivated and we find things and we find, with a healthy, positive mindset and find the things that we enjoy, we can go all in on it. And there's no right or wrong on any particular thing. What I like, you might not like. You got to figure out what you like. And you got to quit worrying about what everybody else thinks about what you like and say, screw everybody else. I'm just going to go all in on what makes me happy and not compare myself to the billions of other people. Otherwise, it's just a life of never being happy. That sucks. That's why I don't get too caught up, I don't let other people's unhappiness become my unhappiness. I know what makes me happy. I go all in on that and I don't sacrifice it for anything. Otherwise, we'll all be unhappy. Life will just be about misery because no one's ever always going to be happy with 8 billion people. The majority are going to be unhappy and stressed out. And that's why I stay away from like the politics for the most part, the bullshit and getting caught up until it starts affecting some of the stuff going on with what's going on. But like, I try to just live my life in the real world as much as possible because we could argue all day long. I have no interest. That's why I block people. I have no interest in changing people's mind. I could already see their mindset. Why the hell am I going to waste 20 minutes or 30 minutes trying to change one person's opinion when they're the dumb shit reading lies and believing it? I could care less, idiot. Get the fuck out of here. That's no hard feelings. Just sayonara, bitch. Big guy's hungry. Big guy's staying happy. That's why I block so quick. I don't let it. I'm not engaged in debate with if unless I'm cool with conversations with people. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk says, "Big guy, I want to have a conversation with you," and he gives me some honest feedback, and maybe there's some critiques in there. I'm listening. You know why? Because I respect Gary. I don't respect the other people that believe lies. Point blank. Why am I going to waste that time, 30 minutes arguing with him, and I got to go do that with 100 other people? For the day, I'll never get shit done. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to get anything from that anyways. If they just watch enough, they'll figure it out on their own anyway. So, yeah, we'll throw a couple shell shocks here. I just shell shocked Brock Lesnar's ponytail, the little Brock Lesnar in the ponytail fan, straight to hell out of Rybackville. Young 17, thank you very much. Life is amazing. Life is great. I will be back soon. Oh, if I blocked you on Twitter, I'm sure you deserved it. Yeah, Creed, the majority of people I see that take, and this isn't to say everyone, obviously, but that take antidepressants end up far worse. I think it's silly not to fix our food and diet and supplementation first before just taking pills that I've seen make people worse because you're not solving the problem, right? So everyone's going to have a different take on that. The less pharmaceuticals you could take, you know, that's a last resort. So you got to ask yourself, have I done everything possible, you know, to fix? Have I started living in the real world, doing more activities? If you sit around and just sit in your thoughts and feel sorry for yourself, your life is going to, if you think taking a pill is going to help you like not sit there and feel sorry for yourself, you're sadly mistaken. You got to get up and do the work regardless. You got to get out and do things. You got to live in the real world. You got to be productive. You got to be hungry. You got to work towards your goals. Yeah, there's extreme cases, extreme medical situations where maybe medication is warranted. I still say, and from the things I've seen, fix your food, you fix your mood. We're going to do another shell shock here. This is a really hard shell shock on the concrete. I think I split your head open possibly with that. That was a really tough shell shock. I'm kidding. It was on a mat. It was on a wrestling ring. You're 17 and this isn't a love. What do I look like, Dr. Drew? I need love advice. I'm 17 and I'm in love with a girl, but I only met her for a month. When should I start asking her out? So I'm taking it you clearly met her online. I would make sure she's real first of all and just ask her out. That way, if she says no, you can move on to the next one, or you could go out with her and see if you really do love her. I would be very skeptical of saying you're in love with somebody that you've not yet met. Just my opinion since you asked. Adam Neiman had to quit one job, was working 2 jobs, 7 days. Nothing wrong with that. If you burning yourself out, you need a little break, you know, as long as you got a job, you're working, you're staying productive. And maybe a better job can come along in the future, or you can get a raise, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Just work hard and give it everything you got. Get a promotion with whoever you are with over time and whatnot. So having a good attitude goes a long ways with a hard work ethic. Dominic says, what is going on with TikTok? I don't know what's going on with TikTok per se. I know that the account, this has done this at various points. The account will be red hot and I'm doing great and things are doing great numbers. And then like yesterday was a day I couldn't even, I was stuck on like 100 views. I was stuck on like 6 views, 8 views. They weren't showing my stuff to my followers for hours, for like half the day yesterday. And then it came up a little bit. And this has happened multiple times. I don't know, man. I hope everything stays on the up and up with TikTok. I get millions of views every month on there, like many millions, usually average between 50. I think it's averaging between 45 and 65 million views a month on all my posts, which is a lot. But this month we were supposed to be over 100 million and then it just hit a halt. And the last like week has been really bad on TikTok. So I don't know. And if I'm hoping it takes off again with everything. My followers just keep going up, but unfortunately my followers have gone up on everything, but it's been very odd impressions with the following. And I think if you know, you know. All right. Grim, I have met Grim. I've got a photo of me and Grim. He came to one of my meet and greets years ago. Maybe he even came to a couple. But Grim, and he's done the podcast when we were doing more interviews with that as well. I hope his health, man. I really want to Grim. I want Grim to lose a lot of weight and get in shape. It pisses me off actually a little bit. And I would tell that to him if I talked to him. I really want him to get in shape. And like I saw him like posting things, eating, and like he needs to get his shit together. He's going to die young if he doesn't get his shit together. I'll tell you straight up. And I like Grim. He's very funny and I like him. He needs to get his health and his diet in straight order as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and throw another shell shock out of here. And I say that like, because I know he can do it. I honestly believe he can do it because he does a lot of things and he's very productive and he's got a hell of a following for never being on TV or doing anything. If he, man, could just kind of harness his energy a little better and learn nutrition, he'd be so much happier too. And he can still have some junk here and there, but he needs to really get the diet in. And I see too, man, he's a pro wrestler and he's never going to probably look like me, right? Maybe he will if he goes all the way. I don't know how bad his diet is, but I just think if he really, for his health and his family, he needs to get his shit together. And I think I want to see him. I want to see him continue to do good. He's a funny guy. All right, guys. With that, we got to wrap up tonight's show. I got to get some more work done. I got to take the dogs out for their little nightly walk. I got to do some more Feed Me More Nutrition stuff, do some emails, a couple phone calls as well. So I thank you guys as always. If you want to show your love and support, you can check out Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com, my supplement line. We now have 13 different supplements, various flavors for men and women, vegan friendly, available on feedmemore.com. And you can save 20% with discount code Ryback Show 20. The merchandise on Teespring for the merch, cameo.com/the big guy Ryback for personal videos. Have a great evening. Enjoy the wrestling if you're watching it, guys, and stay hungry. Feed me more.